Thanks, SB19 is a group in the Philippines. Correction, sir. They are from the Philippines. Indonesia. Guys, I've heard you. I've heard all the comments. I've seen them all. I am sorry. SB19 are not from Indonesia. They are from the Philippines. I am sorry about that. Just don't take offense to that. I only did that because obviously I did not research about them when I should have. Because I wanted a blind take of my first reaction watching SB19 because I heard they're really good. So I thought I'll react to them blind without knowing nothing about them. So today I made this video just to understand and know them a bit better. I'm watching SB19, The Ultimate Soundbreak, the first episode. If you enjoy it, make sure you like and subscribe to the video and comment you forgive me, if you forgive me for that mistake. And as well, if you wanted me to react to the next episode of SB19, let me know down in the comments. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
When you hear the words pop music and the best boy band, who comes to mind?
I wonder, who comes to mind?
What if I told you that the most overlooked boy group in our generation might be these guys?
Do you reckon they're overlooked, SB19? Do you reckon?
In the last 6 years, these guys turned a small Korean entertainment company into a company that produced the greatest P-pop group ever.
Fair enough.
Proud of SB19.
And you don't accomplish that without making a few enemies.
K-pop.
Lima pala sila.
K-pop pangit.
Are they mocking
Some
him?
of
Are they
them coming
mocking
from
him?
unexpected places.
Are they mad?
Pinoy ba daw? Parang may ginaya rin.
But behind the group are 5 driven men who were about to transform what was once a laughingstock genre in music into the fastest growing genre of the world.
Ever since we
Let's go.
had this goal, and not just for us, but for the entire industry.
Feeling ko hindi pa natin nakukuha yung recognition na...
They do have some great voices, I can't lie.
Between
Some of their
disbanding
voices
before
are
they even
crazy.
debuted,
All hope is lost parang nung time na yun.
becoming industry outcasts and getting bashed by their own countrymen.
What?
Ka ng grupo na ano, hindi naman mga kataas.
Why does it matter if they're
Para
gay or
talagang
not? Like, what?
original.
Oo.
The rise of SB19 may not be the greatest Filipino success story ever.
Maganda kasi yung revenge kasi talaga yung success na ipapakita mo sa mga hindi naniniwala.
I don't understand what they're
But
saying,
it
but
certainly is the most inspiring one.
go on the vibes, go on the vibe. Can't wait to see the backstory. I like listening to like the backstory of like famous people and how they got to that level of fame, and because obviously sometimes it's easy for some, but sometimes it's not. So it's them. This is how they started out, SB19. Wait, what? 1997.
This is Cult Triple, a group of talented performers and comedians from Korea you've
Cult
probably
Triple.
never heard of. They were formed back in 1994 when the word K-pop hasn't even been invented. In 2002, one of the members made the biggest mistake of his life, which will change the entire course of P-pop history.
Really? Who's this guy? Who is that guy?
member was Jong Song Han.
John Song Han.
It all started when he left the trio in 2002 to become an entrepreneur. Cult Triple became Cult 2. Most of their fans thought that Song Han's decision was a huge mistake because the remaining members started racking up different awards in the entertainment industry.
Wow.
If he only stuck around, he would have gotten those awards too. But this man's decision was final. He used all of his savings to build an event organizing company called ShowBT Entertainment. Today we know him as Tatang Robin. Fast forward to 2015. The fight of the century just happened. One Direction's Drag Me Down was all over the radio, and Big Bang was the biggest K-pop boy group, while P-pop has top one project. Chances are,
So was
you have never heard of
BTS,
them.
was they like
But
a
somewhere
thing
in
back then,
Makati,
or they pretty
Philippines,
new?
an audition was held. Tatang Robin was looking for young talents who would be part of the package of their service as an event organizers. Talents who can perform on their own but can also serve as backup dancers and singers to their main performers.
Wow.
One of the main attractions of the said audition was if you're good enough, you might just debut as a member of ShowBT's first ever P-pop group to undergo a Korean-style training. Filipinos don't get opportunities like that so often, so hundreds of talents applied, but only 30 made it as trainees. They were initially called the ShowBT Musical Gala Team, but then later dubbed as Nara, which in Korean means country and also happens to be the national tree of the Philippines. If you're a fan who's deep into the P-pop scene, you would recognize some of the future P-pop stars, but one of the most notable ones is this guy. On the first day of training, one guy stood out because he was just alone standing awkwardly in the corner.
Nung una, ang weird niya kung nasa salita mag-isa.
He was facing the wall and making hand gestures
Eminem
as
guy.
if he was rapping in front of it.
Nakatayo siya sa gilid. Biglang gaganon. Sabi ko, ano ginagawa na? Nagre-ritual ba tayo sa gilid?
That guy was John Paulo Nasser. He always wanted to be a performer. As a young dreamer, he joined several competitions as a soloist and also as a member of the K-pop dance cover group called PHP. In training, he was the guy who shows up early and leaves late despite juggling a full-time job as a data analyst to help provide for his family.
What you gotta do, bro?
You
Trying to be dedicated and make it in
and leadership
anything. You gotta put
he
a
is
time
known
into
to have
effort.
critically acclaimed songwriting ability. Some of my sources even said that he had already written dozens of songs at this time. He's also a badass rapper and was often
Right, the thing is, what I love and want to know, like, obviously these musicians are making all these songs, but they make songs like you've never heard before because they thought, oh, let's just scrap it. But imagine if, like, they went back to it and maybe altered it or found a way to make it better. Like, it could be like the next big thing. I don't know, but I'd love to see, like, say, Eminem's and all these famous people now. All, like, when they first started out making their own songs, lyrics, and beats, I just would love to hear it. I'd just love to hear it.
called a genius but consistently denied it because he claimed to be just a hard worker. This made him the destined leader of the group. He was known as Sejin at the time, but later would be known as Pablo.
Pablo. Go on,
30
Pablo.
trainees are a lot of trainees. It would take a very observant person with an eye for talent to notice Pablo in that corner. So who was that observant person with an eye for talent? Well, he was also a trainee. Sylvester Ajero.
Sylvester.
He was only a kid when he started competing as a performer. As a dancer, he racked up win after win on a national level with his school crew and became their official choreographer, teaching crewmates 2 to 3 years older than him. He later joined a dance crew called Seon and went on to win international titles. Stel obviously worked so hard. Amidst his studies and competitions, he also worked part-time as a McDonald's service crew and teaching dance to kids with special needs. There was a point that he worked too hard that he wound up in the hospital. His poor health caused him to lose his earnings and nearly his life. Fortunately, he was able to recover. This made him the obvious choice to become the choreographer of the group. But little did they know that dancing wasn't his only talent. As a kid, he joined the school choir to become the only male soprano and only improved as he gotten older. He easily became the main heavenly voice of the group because his vocals were just out of this world.
Unlike Pablo,
Stel was very friendly to everyone. In fact, one of his closest friends also auditioned and made it as a trainee. This friend is nothing to be trifled with because having the worst upbringing among the others made him the strongest when it comes down to pure guts and determination. Josh Cullen Santos.
Josh Cullen.
He left home at the age of 16 and it was his decision. From growing up in a toxic environment to being physically abused as a kid by their nanny. I'm talking about getting poured candle wax all over their body. At an early age, he experienced what it felt like to be a member of a middle-class family that went rock bottom in just a matter of months. They get evicted
Mate,
from
I don't
medium-sized
blame him for
apartments
leaving.
to increasingly smaller rooms. It came to a point when his family had nothing to eat with rice but ketchup and salt. They had no permanent address. Because of that, Josh and his sister dropped out.
How did he know they only had
multiple
ketchup
times, so
and
he
salt,
got bullied
bro?
at school for being repeaters. Sometimes he would even get into fistfights for defending her. Josh had enough of this, so he decided to leave to become independent and started working as an internet cafe attendant.
Good on you,
Using
good
his
on you,
own
bro.
income, he took the alternative learning system to attain his high school degree. He initially had no background in performing. Not until he found Stel performing with his dance group called Seyon. Josh became an instant fan, and when they connected, Stel became his mentor, which led to them becoming co-members, and they went on to win
Well then, bro.
numerous K-pop dance cover competitions all over Asia.
Oh,
They even met BTS during one of their winning runs in Korea.
BTS.
So from champions,
They're like the biggest now,
trainees.
innit? Like K-pop
what else is in store for them?
type single, I think.
From then on, their lives became all about performing in small events and training.
Oh,
We
be
had
cool to go.
one mentor when we were training. Tapos, more on personality development siya. Tapos, presenting ourselves on stage.
We had no idea that the Korean-style training they went through
It's far, far from what they've been doing sa Korea.
was nothing but a mere marketing strategy.
But yung skill-wise, parang we were left on our own.
What, so the teachers just left them? Just had to train on their own, wow.
They were left alone to fend for themselves, sharing knowledge to improve each other with the hope of making the cut.
So you gotta do
Some
it.
sources told me that Pablo had to record some of their vocal sessions to effectively coach his co-trainees. All of that without salary. This went on for roughly a couple of years, and I don't know about you guys, but this for me sounded kind of brutal. It's not easy to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again without any form of guidance. They were also kept in the dark about their debut date. So frustration started brewing until it reached the point when it only took one trigger to
That's why you just gotta keep going, man. You just gotta keep going on your dreams. Whatever you dream about, what you're passionate about, you gotta keep going at it. Just put 110% into it and see what happens. That's all you can do.
call it quits. On one seemingly normal training day, all trainees were already in the studio, except for Josh. On the same morning,
Why?
the train broke down.
Nasira yung MRT during that time. Nasira yung MRT.
Sinuspindi ang operasyon ng
There's gonna be
MRT
backlash on
dahil
that,
sa
man.
power outage.
It wasn't really an accident, but this would still worry anyone, especially the trainees, because it's highly unusual for Josh to miss training. Later that morning, Josh arrived. His co-trainees felt relieved because Josh turned out to be safe. You would think that their company would react the same way, right?
Well, yeah.
Wrong.
What?
They decided to terminate his training.
Na-late ako, tapos
Wow.
tinanggal ako.
That was the trigger.
What, for being late
Nung tinanggal po ako,
once?
nag-quit din.
Well, it
Yung
wasn't
mga
even
grupo
his
ko,
fault.
Nag-quit din sila kasi parang naging trigger na point na kung tatanggalin mo si
Just
Josh,
show.
Umalis kami sa grupo.
ganun mo lang kadali itapon yung lahat ng efforts and passion tsaka dreams namin.
ShowBT had two choices.
Man, that is
to
so
keep all
horrible.
trainees or to keep no trainees. The company chose the latter. Everyone left except for Stel.
Parang si Stel lang yung naiwan po nun talaga sa
Why?
sa training. training
One
room.
person can't be a group, can
Tapos,
they?
talagang down
That's
na
just a
lahat.
bit
Si
weird.
Stel natira kasi doon during that time.
Stel set aside all his frustration and remained focused on his goal, while Pablo was devastated.
All hope is lost parang nung time na yun.
In Josh's case, we can only imagine
You will
the
be,
pain
won't
he
you?
must have
Years
felt
on years
to have
about
been
getting
booted
paid.
out of his dreams.
Putting blood, sweat, and
Days
tears into
passed.
something you
Everyone's still
really want
feeling down about that incident.
just to be let go.
Then Pablo's phone receives a message.
Oh,
Balik ka na, brother.
It was Josh.
it was Sure.
Out of all the trainees, the guy that got sent packing was the same guy who actively convinced everyone to continue chasing their dreams. Perhaps this was the sheer guts and determination from his life experiences in full display. Pablo hurried back to the studio to find Stel alone. But not for long. Josh came back next and took the initiative to convince the company to have them back.
Pumunta lang po ako doon at syempre kung kailangan na makiusap.
So back to training, they went.
Hindi na lang magkahiwalay ng grupo pero bumalik sila kasi hindi nila ako inuman.
No, you can't leave him alone.
There was only 3 of them for a while. Then a few other trainees started coming back. So ShowBT put together a talent workshop to get more talents to keep the business going. This was batch 1. This was batch 2.
Target locked.
Justin de Dios.
Justin.
He got scouted right away because he was a very good-looking guy and already was a decent singer and dancer. When he joined, he immediately saw a familiar face in Josh.
You look familiar. As do you.
Apparently, Josh told Justin about the workshop because the two already had a stint performing together in a dance cover group called Zero to Hero. So Justin as well wasn't new in the world of performing. He auditioned to be a part
Sounds
of the
crazy how they all
televised
know each
boy
other.
band
How it
Superstar,
all
but
just
he
comes
didn't
together.
even make it to the live auditions. Perhaps it was fate. That group is nowhere to be found today. Justin obviously deserved better. He went on to finish his college degree in multimedia arts while training, which earned him a filmmaking skill that would prove very crucial to their success in the future.
Wow, it all comes
With
together,
Justin
man.
on board, this completed their prototype boy group. It's composed of Justin, Pablo, Stel, Josh, Zeno, Kurt, and JP. They did multiple test runs leading up to their entry to Pinoy K-Pop Star 2017. They performed B-Day by Icon in an epic fashion, but they didn't win. At this point, ShowBT seemed to have hit a roadblock. The group felt like something was missing. I don't exactly know what happened to Zeno, Kurt, and JP. They either quit or ShowBT felt the need to let go of them and get someone who could take this already great group of guys and push them to achieve the next level. The extraordinary level. This years in the making project of ShowBT needed to reach its peak. So they started the online auditions. When Josh heard about it, he was like, I know a guy.
Cold.
The guy he was talking about was a pain in his butt because their groups have clashed multiple times in their early dance competitions and their battles were always neck and neck. That guy's name was Philip Johnson.
Philip.
He was such a specimen. He was so naturally gifted that excelling in sports looked like a walk in the park for him. He grew up in the church under the care of his grandparents. He was an artistic kid, so he was active
So
as
why
an
did everyone hate him?
opportunist in school. Nobody taught him how to play musical instruments. He taught
why
himself
they
by
hate
just
him.
listening to the music, so he ended up becoming a southpaw guitarist, but he later then fixed it as he learned more. He was also a gifted singer as a kid. Every time there was a family gathering, he was always forced to sing karaoke by his relatives.
Boss.
But when he hit puberty, he lost confidence in his voice because he could no longer hit high notes. But his confidence came
Why?
back after being mentored by Pablo, who taught him how to harness his unique low voice that seemingly sounds
That's
like it
crazy
came
to me.
from
Like,
the underworld.
did they have a teacher that they taught themselves? I reacted to this guy. You know.
When it comes to
I was
dance,
actually impressed
he didn't
by
know
Philip.
he could do it until he was forced to in order to get good grades during their school intramurals. After discovering dance, he transformed from a guy who didn't know it to someone who can fly. Because of his raw talent, he ended up teaching dance to the entire school and continued on to join the dance group called Amigo 7, a would-be
Amigo
rival
7.
of Josh and Stel's crew, Seyon. It quickly became a reverse if you can't beat them, then join them kind of deal. So Josh recruited Ken. But there was a problem. hundreds of islands away and didn't have the money. What did Josh do? He shelled out for his plane ticket.
What a good
With nothing
man,
else
what a
to
good
lose,
friend.
Philip went and left his previous life in the countryside. He then trained with the boys and officially debuted with them as Ken, the main dancer, the bass vocalist, and the lead rapper of the group. One thing to note is that they were an unlikely bunch because they wouldn't have met each other if Tatang Robin stayed with his already successful group in Korea. Justin didn't make it in his first audition, so he...
You see, that's why I believe so much in Fate. Fate, I 100% believe. Everything happens for a reason. Like, it's like small things here. He left that group. He went on to make a business of training the future, like singers and dancers. And then it all happened to the point where something massive, SB19, and whatever else has gone, like, has come because of little things in life.
Almost didn't try again until Josh told him to do so. And Ken wouldn't even have the opportunity to join if the ShowBT trainees didn't come back after that quitting incident. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the butterfly effect. When a small and seemingly insignificant occurrence has a rippling effect through time, leading to a consequential event sometime long after the initial event, or as Google would put it, the phenomenon whereby a minute localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. Tatang Robin's so-called mistake back in 2002 led to forming the future P-pop Kings. In 2018, SB19 was formed. The name of the group was carefully picked. The number 19 is the sum of Korea and the Philippines country code digits, 82 and 63. So 8 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3 is 19. If you subtract both numbers, you also get the same result. SB doesn't only mean ShowBT. It is also about their ultimate goal for Pinoy sound to break into the music industry, which is fearlessly represented by this phrase.
It's really blowing up at the minute. It's really blowing up at the minute. Alright guys, that was SB19 Soundbreak. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe to see the next episode. And as well, if I get 10,000 subscribers, I will do whatever the top comment says as the next video. So guys, I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in a bit.